Alright, welcome to another video from the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I am the designer and creator of the games at the Clark and Addison Gaming Company. And in this game I'm going to introduce a brand new basketball game that I've been working on, calling it just simply Dice Basketball, and 2024 would be the new version. And this is sort of an image from the game guide. There's no sort of production yet to it, still working on the game itself, but I did want to get it out there since I've released the files, and just want to walk through as briefly as I can the components, the gameplay, and then play out a few quarters of a game that I already have in progress. And so it's going to be kind of a long video, so buckle in, and it's just gonna take a little while. I'll try to move quickly through the component part, and then when I'm playing the game I think you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I'm also going to show you the app because I'm playing the game through the app. Since everything is digital in this video, I don't have my normal setup, and I'm trying to make everything digital and here inside this computer screen, so doing the best I can with that. So when you download the game, you'll receive the game guide here, and just wanted to sort of point out what you need to play. And what you need to play the game is 2d6 dice, 1d10 die, the gameplay charts. There are player cards, which I'll go through, and then there's also something I'm calling clock or possession cards. This is basically the timing mechanism for the game. There's no like in up-tempo and in triple threat, I use like an actual, you're moving the game in increments of X number of seconds. In this game it's more possession based, so each team will wind up getting it's based off of 100 possessions per team. Each team won't get that many, but it's based off of that. And so this game guide takes you through, you can see here, it takes you through the different parts of starting a possession and taking a shot, dealing with rebounding, and then how do you end a possession. There's some special plays, how do you deal with things like that, and then it goes through sort of this tutorial of sorts of the player card and gives you a little bit of information about each one, and then there's some feedback. I'd love to have people's feedback as they play these games, as I played this game specifically, because I've rated the entire 2022-23 NBA season, and I want you to go play. I want you to just play as much as you want, as much as you like it, as much as you can, and then I would love some feedback, how to make the game better after you've played it. Are there things that can be reworked as far as the gameplay is concerned, or are there attributes that I'm missing that are key components to the game that you would consider to be key components to the game? So those types of things are what I'm looking for. I'm also playing the game. I'm doing more tinkering with the game engine now than sort of the heavy push to get it up and going. Now it's just sort of the detail work. And so I'm working with that as well, and as I'm playing, I'm tinkering and trying to keep everything together between the app and the offline charts. Alright, so this is a C&D basketball game. The idea of the game was to create a game that was as easy to play as a cards and dice baseball game, and provided a similar look and feel. So if you were playing my game, On Base Baseball, or you were playing another game like APBA or Stratomatic Baseball, bringing some of those same gameplay dice baseball type elements into a dice basketball game, which there have been some games like that, but not very many, and definitely not very recently. Most of those games are quite old now. They're 40 or 50 years old. So just trying to get one, to speed up gameplay, two, to see how much we can pack into one or two roles, because if you watch a basketball game being played, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it can sometimes take 2 or 3 minutes just to resolve one possession. This game is going to be significantly faster than that. So hopefully this will be a nice mid-level game. So not super quick play, not super detailed, but something in between. Excuse me, that gives you all of the detail of the game, and you can get detailed stats and stuff like that without having to do a lot of the mental gymnastics or the lookups and all the different things that you have to do in several basketball games. I know there have been some good games that have come out recently, like Bang Shot, that are trying to do the same thing. You know, they're trying to bring you into a little quicker playing universe, but they use fast action cards, and this is all dice driven. So there's the cards are there just like in a baseball game to kind of reference and look at, but there are no cards to flip. This is all done with dice. So it does allow me to, I guess the timing cards are there for you to flip. I guess that's the only thing. But there's no interplay between the cards necessarily like you would see in some other basketball games where they have a FAQ deck or FAC deck. All right, so these are the components that you get for now. So let's just walk through them very quickly. So this is a clock timer mechanism. You can see there are 50 cards here, and each of them also has a little time stamp on it. So it's 15 seconds per card, roughly. In an NBA game, you get 4 periods of 12 minutes each, so you have a 48-minute game. And we're going with roughly 50 possessions per quarter, which gives us 200 possessions for a game, which if you divide that by 2, gives you 100 possessions per team. If you look at it varies each year, but the value is called pace. If you look on Basketball Reference or any other basketball sites, pace gives you the number of possessions per game generally that each team has actually had during the season. So I think in last year the pace was a little under 100 as an average. So you're going to have some teams that are over, some teams that are under. So a 100 possession, basing the timing on 100 possessions seems about right for a basketball game. So you would basically just cut out these cards and then stack them in a deck, and then as you complete a possession, you would have 50. This will be your top card, and it will be face up looking at the 50, and then all the way down to 1 at the very bottom. And then basically you would take after the first possession, you would flip the 50 over so that it's face down, and then now 49 should be face up. And so you just keep doing that until the clock runs out for the quarter, and then you don't need to shuffle or anything. You just keep them in the same order. Just flip them all over and put the 50 at the top again, and then you would start over with your second quarter. So very easy timing mechanism. I know Rod's Tabletop Hoops was he roasted me a little bit on the 5 seconds per 5 seconds per potential play with triple threat, but that was kind of a super detailed game, and so just trying to make sure that the clock mechanism, because I don't want the clock to get in the way of people enjoying the game. So 50 possessions per quarter. We looked at the game guide. The meat and potatoes of the game are these gameplay charts. I'm going to show you the sort of the original gameplay chart first, and that's what this looks like. It's on a landscape orientation, so everything is on one page, and you can see here that everything is on a single page. And just for reference, I've also created a vertical one, so you can see that it fits onto one page here and then onto a second page here. So the reason I did that is because when you print this second vertical one out, you can either do it on the front and back, and then you would just kind of reference flipping the page over, or you could put them side by side next to each other, 2 pages, and that's going to give you a larger print. So you can see that this is going to be significantly smaller when you print it out. So if you need larger print, this might be an easier thing for you to see. So I wanted to create both of those. I know that sometimes I have a tendency to only make things for my eyes, and honestly my eyes are getting older, and so it's not so bad to have something a little bit easier to see. So for the sake of presentation, I'm going to show you this larger one, and we'll just blow this up a little bit. So this is based off of an 11 to 66 roll, you can see. So these are going to be your dice rolls here. Like I said, you'll roll 2d6 dice, and that's going to get you this original number on the left, and then there'll also be a d10, which is also going to get you this sort of player finder here for each different type of play. So basically you're going to roll for the type of play, and you can see them all here. There's an offensive foul or steal. This is a shooting foul on the defense, which is distinguished from a non-shooting foul on the defense. We have different types of shots here: 2 points, 3 points. There's an and one, where the player is fouled in the act of shooting, but he makes the shot. So you need to choose the assign the foul to the player at the same position on the other team, and then he gets his one shot, and then you'll assign who is the person who made the shot and got fouled here. There's a couple of shooting fouls for the defense. There's a turnover. There's actually a couple of turnover results, and there are some that are straight up makes. So if you're familiar with up tempo, where you have some shooting to try to make the basket, and then you have some where it's just an auto bucket. When you roll here, it's just a 3-point make. You just need to decide who made the shot. And then there's a block shot here. We also have included a couple of, if you want to keep rebounds and assists, you can do that here. So when a shot goes up, and let's say it's a 2-point shot here, and the shooting guard takes it, and then on the next roll, you decide to, you see, did he make the shot or not? If he didn't make the shot, then you can roll your or use your D10 to determine was it a defensive rebound, or did you roll a 9 and 10? And then now we look at our offensive rebound. So I'll explain that as we go through it. But basically you roll for this row first, and then if it comes up 9 or 10, then you'll roll a second time on your D10 to see who got the offensive rebound. For assists, basically you're rolling to see who got the assists on the play. Obviously point guards are going to get more assists, shooting guards are going to get more assists than the others, but it is possible to get assists for every player. So you have that, you have 2-point makes here, and you have 2-point shots. So what this does is it's going to, along with our strict 50 possessions per quarter, we needed to make up some points along the way. So that's part of the reason for the made shots, is to make sure that we get the point ranges into the right place. Now, if you have a better way of doing the cards so that we can make it so that everyone gets the number of possessions, because with 100 per team, you can see that if there are turnovers or if there are offensive rebounds, that's going to sort of skew the results. So one team is going to get more possessions than another. To me, that's the way it should be, because that's the way real basketball is. When you turn it over, you lose that possession, right? So to me, that seesaw effect works. But if you're playing the game and you feel like it doesn't work very well, I would love to hear more about that. So this is sort of where the game begins. Each possession is going to begin with one of these types of plays, and then the possession is going to go to it's going to go over to the player card after that. Now I have two kinds of player cards here. One is for each team's top 12 players, and one is for the sort of extra players. And so I'll show you the top 12 first. And the reason I did that is because maybe you don't care about doing replay basketball, like strict replays, where you need the guy who had 12 games off the bench playing. That way you can use this if you want to, and basically this is the first 12. So from Justin Holiday up to DeJounte Murray, that's going to be your Atlanta Hawks team. And then it'll start the Celtics. And so you get 1, 2, 3 rows of Celtics. So between those two teams, you've got 3 pages worth of cards. So it does actually kind of make it so that you can print things out a little bit more easily in those ways, and you don't have to print out a whole bunch of players that you're not ever going to use. So you'll get the top 12 of each team, and then in this other extra card file, then you can see here that these are your Atlanta Hawks. So now you have 4 or 5 sort of quote-unquote extra players, and you can see these guys who got into 10 games here and 16 games here. So these are not players who are integral necessarily to the team's success. Although they did play, they were not heavily played. So if you wanted to do as played replays and bring in these guys whenever they were supposed to, or at least have them ready for the games that they were in, then you have these cards. Same thing for Boston, right? You've got four players for Boston here, but these guys just didn't figure in very much. This one here is playing 12 games. So they are rated, they are there, but you can choose whether you want to use them or not. So let's zoom in a little bit here to the player cards. You can see it a little better. And let's just look at Trae Young, because he's here in the middle of the page, and most people know his name. You get his name. His primary position is a point guard. It doesn't mean that you have to play everybody at those positions, but it's just to give you a guide as to, okay, this guy's a guard, that's a forward. There's probably a lot of NBA players. There's a lot of, I watch the NBA, and there's still a lot of guys I'm like, I don't know who that is. He's an all-star. So a little bit of that going on. So it helps to sort of identify who's who and who is playing. We have sort of 3 sections on the card. The first section is here, and after you finish, let's say it's 50, you rolled a 56, it's going to be a 2-point jump shot from the baseline, and let's say it is the small forward, you rolled a 4. So basically I would roll the 2 D6s plus the D10 all at the same time, and then you're going to get your play type, you're going to get your position, who takes the shot, the player who takes the shot. So you have a small forward, and he's going to take the shot. Actually, let's just do the point guard since it's a point guard that we're looking at. And then now with a 2-pointer, we need to look at this area right here. And so on a 2 to 6 or an 11, this is going to be a dice roll of both of the D6s. On a 2 to 6 or an 11, that's going to be a made shot for Trae Young. On a 2 to 7 or an 11, that would be a made shot for John Collins. A 2 to 6 or a 9, that's going to be a shot made for DeAndre Hunter. So Hunter, a little better percentage than Trae Young. Trae Young, a better percentage than John Collins. These two have the same 2-point percentage. If the play were a 3-point shot, say it was a 35, and then it was the point guard, then we would look at his 3-point number here. So on a 2 to 5 or an 11 for the second roll, that would be a made shot for Trae Young. So anything other than that, if he rolls a 6, a 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, all of those are going to be misses on the 3-point shot. So this is his range to make the shot. Same with the free throw. If he goes to the free throw line, let's say there's if he had an and 1, you're going to count the 2 points, and then he's going to go to the line, and he's going to shoot a free throw. So a 2 to 9 or an 11 is going to be a make. A 10 or 12 is going to be a miss. So that's how you sort of read these. These are for your second roll whenever the player is actually taking the shots. These are the stats. This is kind of the second area here on the left. And these are their stats for the season that's being shown here. And you get the season and the team name. And then these stats they don't do anything. They don't actually figure into the game, but it gives you a sense of, especially the games played, who's getting into the games. What type of player are they? Are they a high 3-point percentage shooter, or are they a low 3-point percentage shooter? Rebounds per game, blocks per game, that type of thing. I may change this going forward in the future, but this is actually his points based off of 100 possessions, not his actual points per game. But let's say every player played 100 possessions. This is what they would average in terms of their points. That's how many points per game they would average. So that's kind of an interesting way to think about it or look at it. I may wind up changing that in the future because it's not representative of actual statistics. That's more of a sabermetric type thing to kind of put everybody on the same playing field and see and compare them against one another as scorers. You can let me know. Do you like that or not? Or would you rather see a traditional points per game? And then the last part here is on this right side. Let's move that up. On this right side, you can see that there are some grades. So 2-point attempts, 3-point attempts, blocks, and steals. So each player is graded out based on these 4 attributes. And these attributes come into play. Let's say this was kind of our original. There's a 56, and then you rolled a 10 on the D10, and you see this says high, right? You see that over there. And whenever it says high, what you're going to do is you're going to look at all the players on the floor. So let's say these 4 players were on the floor together, and it's a 2-point shot. And now you're going to look at their 2-point attempt grade. And you can see here there's 2 A's and 2 B's. So you're going to look for the highest rated player on the floor. And if there's multiple players on the floor, then basically it's the gamer's choice. You could also roll a die and say, 1 to 3 goes to DeJounte Murray, 4 to 6 goes to Trae Young, and then let the dice decide that way. Or you can simply choose which player you want. So do you want to sort of massage the stats toward one player or another? Or in the case of taking a shot, you may want to choose the player with the best shooting percentage. So you would want to choose DeJounte Murray because a 2 to 6 and a 9 is better than a 2 to 6 and an 11. A 9 is a higher number than an 11. So this is going to give you like a higher percentage than an 11. The closer to 7 you get when you add 2 d6 numbers. So the closer to 7 this number is, the better it is. So a 9 is better than a 10, 10 is better than 11, 11 is better than 12, because now you're getting farther away from the center, which is a roll of a 7. So that's kind of how the math works for that. So maybe you want to choose DeJounte Murray because you have a little better percentage to hit the shot. But either way, you're choosing from the players who are on the floor at that moment. So if you have substitutes coming in or whatever, you're going to want to look at these ratings and say, okay, this is the player that I want to take this shot. And then when it's this roll of the high player, and it says it here, when you see high, then assign the shot to the highest rated player for that shot type. You also will get, we have one for blocks. So the highest rated block player, and among these players here, John Collins has the highest rating for blocks. So if that were the case, and you rolled 66 and a 10, then you would look and see, okay, John Collins has the highest block rating, and so he is going to get the block shot. Remember, this is not field goal percentage. This is how many attempts per game. That's what these are based off of. It's to try to funnel more attempts to the players who actually took more attempts per game. So the John Collins doesn't outshoot Trae Young because he didn't outshoot him in real life, and Trae Young doesn't get more blocks than John Collins because that's not very realistic. So we want to get those opportunities to the right players, and there are opportunities for there is an opportunity for the power forward to take a jump shot, but the point guard has 3 opportunities here, 7, 8, 9, and then a potential for a 10 because of that. But if you're a small forward, took more shots than anybody, then you have one opportunity here and you got one opportunity there as well. So it just kind of funnels more opportunities toward the players who took them. We have the same thing with steals, and the same mechanic works all the way through. So a 9 or a 10 is going to be the highest rated steal player on the team or on the floor, and so that's going to be DeJounte Murray. He would get the steal if that was the case. And then for 3-point attempts, it's also the same thing. So you might see here's a 3-pointer, a 9 to 10. The shot goes to the highest rated 3-point attempt rating. And so we have B's and 2 C's, and then again, you would just need to choose which player you want to take the 3-point shot. And again, you might look at the percentages. These two shot exactly the same. So they are probably within 1 or 2 or 3% of their actual shooting percentage. You don't have to guess because you can actually look here because it actually has their shooting percentage. You can look here at their 2-point percentage and you can figure, okay, this player here has a better percentage for 2-pointers, and you can see what the difference between 2 to 6 and 11 and 2 to 6 and 9 is. It's 3 percentage points. So there's lots of like little indicators all along the way, and if you follow a team or that type of thing, you'll know who the shooters are. You'll know who should be taking more shots and that type of thing. Now the other part. So at the bottom of this, you can see that there's a high and there's also a low, and so it says assign to the lowest foul total among the players on the floor. So on an offensive foul, you get one opportunity for each player, and then there's 6 to 10, and that foul should go to the player on the floor with the lowest total fouls. I have a game here set up, so let's say that happened here to Miami. You have a player here with 2, and then we have a couple guys with 1. The power forward has no fouls, and the center has 1. So if we were to roll this here, there's an offensive foul, and we rolled a 7, then we would need to go here and choose the lowest rated player, which would be Jimmy Butler, and he would be assigned the foul. Now, if it's like this, it would be Brook Lopez, who doesn't have any fouls. But if they all had 1, then basically you figure out a way to choose how to discern how to assign that foul. I don't have a way to assign that foul. What I've been doing is I start at the top and kind of move down. So if these players all had 0, or these players all had 2, and these 2 guys had 1, then they're both the lowest rated. And what I would do is I would just go with the one on the top. I would start at the point guard and move my way down. If these 2 guys had 2 fouls, but all 3 of these had 1, I would start at the top again, and I would move from the top to the bottom of the list, assigning a foul. If you would rather assign it to a player that you don't want to get into foul trouble, you can do that too. So there's a little bit of room for you to kind of make decisions about how the game goes for different players in the game. But that's how you use the low mechanic, and you'll see it for fouls because that's where it comes into play. And the final sort of strange marking, I guess, on the charts that you need to realize is this one here. It says position, grade, /high. Now it says to assign to the player, so you assign it to this player here, the position, if the player at that position has that grade or higher. And so we see it here on a 3-point make. You see on a 1, a roll of 1 on the D10, it's the center, A/high. And for 2, it's power forward B/high. And the way that you read this is the center will shoot and make the shot if his 3-point attempt grade is an A. And he can't be more than an A, so it just has to be A. If you roll a 2, then the power forward takes and makes the shot if his 3-point attempt rating is a B or an A, so it's a B or higher. If it doesn't qualify, if the power forward, so we have a power forward here, John Collins, his three-point attempt rating is a C, so he does not qualify for this because he's lower than a B. If that's the case and that's nullified, then you'll just simply go to the highest rated three-point shooter on the floor. And then again, with the three-pointers, you would have to make the choice. If these four guys were on the floor, you would have to make the choice between these two players. So that's how that mechanic there plays out. You see it a few times throughout, usually on three-point plays. You see them here. And that's because some centers are shooters and some power forwards are shooters. Here the power forward would be a C, and so that would actually be John Collins. So he would, on this three-point make, he would take and make that shot from the top of the key. Now he's not a great three-point shooter, but he does have a 29% three-point percentage, and he's not a D, which would be, he almost doesn't take any shots at all. You can see down here that Clint Capella is a D. He didn't take any three-pointers, and so that's just how it is. And he's a D, but he only shoots 30%. But this, again, is not about percentage. It's about how many three-pointers he takes in the game or for the season, right? So you can get some three-point shots for your centers and for your power forwards. So that's the cards, and you can see here that everybody's sort of rated differently. You get all of their this guy's a 2 to 6 and an 8 on his shooting, but he's a 55% shooter from 2-point. 2 to 6 and a 7 is better than that, and really that should be a 2 to 7. So I'll have to go back and do that. There's no reason to have 2 to 6 and 7. So Jalen Johnson, who's almost a 60% shooter from the floor, is a 2 to 7. So that's how the cards work. Again, you get the extra players and you get the top 12 for all of the teams. So you're going to go through and you're going to see, Tatum and Brown and White and Williams, and this is, really going to be your starting 12. The other thing I want you to notice is this is a sheet. This is to be printed out on an 8.5 by 11 letter size paper. I don't have anything specifically set up for A4, but could be something that I could do as well. But just look here, you get some cut lines. So that's going to be 1 cut, 2, 3, 4, and you're done. So all of my cards, whether you're playing on-base baseball or whatever, I try to really be cognizant and aware of not wasting paper and also not wasting ink. That being said, if you want to spice up your cards, there's space here that you could put an image, and I did that on purpose. Now, you can either put an image of the player, which when you get these cards, they're yours. As long as you don't resell them, then it's no problem to actually go online, get player photos, and put them on here. I've done that with triple threat basketball and just sort of given you the players, but that was only 75. This is 300 players or something like that. I'm not going to do that for all these, especially these guys like this who didn't get into a lot of games. So you can go through and get pictures of players yourselves, and you can put them into this section. Now I go through it in the game guide just a little bit down here. You can add a player photo or a team logo. Maybe you just want to put team logos up here, and that would be fine. When you're putting those in, it should be, I'll put it here. A photo that is exactly 1200 by 720 will shrink and fit correctly into the space with a little bit of space here above the player's the player's name. So that if you want to go full bleed all the way to the edge of the card, you can do that, or if you want to leave like a little bit of space here around, which is what I typically do. I make it as wide as the text. Either way, whatever you want to do. If you use a photo that's 1200 by 720, then that's going to shrink to fit the space. So one way you can do that is you can go on to any web search engine, so Google or Bing or Yahoo or whatever, and search for images and search for the player. I like to search for the player's name, the team that he played for, the year, and then 1200 by 720. And what that will do is it'll pull up images that are that size if you look at it, if you look at each image. And then you can simply copy and paste it into whatever. If you're using Adobe, there are ways to copy and paste images onto here, and then you would place them inside this file, save the file, and then print directly from something like an Adobe Acrobat or whatever in Photoshop or whatever you're using. You can print from those programs, and it will have the photos on the cards, and so you would have like a full set of really nice cards where you get to choose, what your cards look like, which I think is pretty cool. You can also find logos, and you can put those logos on here so that each team, you can quickly identify them with a little bit of color. Do it the way you want to. You can print them like this, and you'll just have a blank space. These cards are kind of tall, but they're excuse me. They're also easy to manipulate, and the text is going to be very readable text. So again, I try to think about those things whenever I'm making cards. Plenty of space, white space, easy to identify different parts of the card itself. And so that is sort of that's everything that you're going to get when you get the Dice Basketball download. You can find that at the Tabletop Sports Facebook group. I posted into the files section, and I've also put it at the sports replays and simulations group, which I believe is headed by Ron Juckett, and maybe Dave Gardner is a part of administering that group as well. And then it'll also be posted to I think it's already posted to the Clark and Addison Gaming Company Facebook page, which that's almost always the first place that I'm going to post anything like this. But I also want to hit kind of where gamers who play basketball are going to be. So the Rod's Tabletop Hoops, that Facebook group is very active, and guys and women who love to play these cards and dice basketball games. All right, so that is the first part. I know that's kind of a long introduction, but I haven't done any sort of formal introductions to the game, and I want to roll this all into one video, just kind of knock it out and get out of the way. So let's get into some gameplay. So we're going to go here and here. Now, I'm going to use this is an online app that I created just to play this game. And you can see that the charts are going to show up in the application itself. Now, this is like what it would look like on a cell phone, even though I'm just in a browser tab. If you made it bigger like that, you could play it as a full-size browser kind of application. You can see that it's I'm on CodePen right now, but I'm going to apply these changes here, some of the things that I've done as far as the size of everything and adding these charts in. I'm going to apply those changes after this video, and then those changes will be live, and I'll have a link to the online dice roller that I'll put into the description of this video, and you can go there, and it's free to use. It's just something, it's kind of a helper that helps you play the game. And you'll see, you should play it by hand first, maybe, if you like to roll dice. And then also being able to use this, it really speeds up the game a lot. Now we have a game here that's in progress. First quarter is over. It's actually 21-26. I made an error somewhere along here. I don't know if the error is here. So 4, 2, 6, 8, 12 plus 9 is 21, 22, 24, 26. So somewhere along the way, I've added one too many over here, or I missed one here. I'm not sure. I'm going to reconcile the score because I'm not sure what happened here. This is probably correct, but since we're so early in the game, it's not such a big deal. But basically, I have all my 2-point shots here, 3-point shots and attempts, free throws, and then I'm keeping track of assists, rebounds, all this stuff over here, turnovers. I have all of my shooting rolls here. So this is everything that you would find on the player card. These, what's it going to show? Everything that you would find. Where are they at? Okay. Well, that's very weird. Okay, anything that you would find here. I'm not sure why this, because it's here. Okay, anything that you would find here is actually in this spreadsheet. So I've gone through and done that for each of my players. And then also I've put their ratings here. So everything that you find on the card is here. And I'm not playing with any substitutes or anything like that at this point. And I've highlighted this just so it's easier to sort of look back and see, you know, when I'm looking at this player, this is his 2-point roll rating. And we have this for both teams. I'm keeping score down here as well. So very basic what I'm doing. But this is really the key, and it allows me to add points here, 1, 2, or 3 points. When I click to the next play, when I click to the next play, it's going to go automatically to quarter number 2, which is where we're at. So it's going to go to quarter number 2. When I click here on these 3 dice, it's going to flip a card, because that's going to account for a new possession. Nothing will change up here automatically, but it will it will read the dice, and then it will show the appropriate play from this game chart. So it's going to look at the play, it's going to pull in all of these results, and then it's going to display those results on here. So you're going to see the 2-point play. It'll also, because it's a 2-point shot, it's going to pull in the rebound and the assist. So if you miss, then you'll have that. If you click this again, it's going to flip another card. So instead of doing that, the way to get an extra dice roll is to simply click this kind of refresh. And so you can get an extra dice roll without changing any of these parts of the play. And it won't count toward moving this for the quarter. So when you're finished with a possession, that's when you'll click the dice. If you were to figure out, okay, it's a 2-point shot, I need to figure out it's Kyle Lowry, it's a 2 to 6 or a 9, and then you roll to get a fresh roll, and then he misses the shot, right? So a 3 and a 5 is an 8, which is outside of his range of a make. And then you would use this D10 to figure out the rebound. If it was a made shot, then you would use the D10 to figure out the assist. So everything works well and in concert with each other. What you really need is the players in front of you or written on a score sheet with their ratings. You could play this without cards at all, or you could play it just with cards, and then maybe you have this on a phone next to you, and then a score sheet. So it's a seriously small footprint because a lot of these things are removed from the table. So that's how I'm going to play, just because that's how you're gonna be able to see me play at this point. And so this is just going to be one way that you can play the game. So we are at the end of the first quarter. Like I said, it's 26-21. So the first time these guys score, I'm just going to not add anything. Hopefully I can remember that. and then after that, we should be squared away and all good, unless it's a 3, and then we can add 1. So it's going to be, I don't remember whose ball it is, so we'll just get to Miami because I think Milwaukee won the toss. So this is Miami from last year at Milwaukee. So Giannis is 0 for his last 3. He's only got 2 points and no rebounds so far. But 3 3-pointers for Pat Connaughton. I don't know how you say his name, Connaughton. And 6 points for Bam Adebayo. He's already got 3 rebounds. And a couple steals here for Kyle Lowry. And filling up the stat sheet is Drew Holiday. He's got 6 points, 5 assists, and 1 block, 1 steal. So we'll move through the game here, and you can see how the game plays and flows. And I'll reference what's over here. Hopefully you can see that well enough. On a larger screen, you'll be able to see it larger. But in order to get everything onto the screen for mobile, I had to make it kind of small. So first play of the second quarter, when I click here, it gives me 50, which resets my deck. And then to flip the first card and to do the first possession, you roll the dice. You can see it's a 2-point jumper from the elbow. This is an indicator of who took the shot. We have a 5, so a 5 or a 6 means it's a small forward. So it's going to go to Caleb Martin, who's a small forward. His 2-point percentage is a 2 to 6 or an 8, so that's his 2-point roll. He's 0 for 2 from 2, but does have a couple of threes and a couple free throws. So we need another roll to figure out, did he make the shot? So we're looking for a 2 to 6 or an 8 for a make. And it's an 8, and so he hits the jumper from the elbow, and that'll be his first 2-point field goal. And because it's a make, we need to figure out the assist. So that we use this number, this new roll for the assist, and it goes to the power forward. So we're going to give that to Jimmy Butler. So Butler feeds Caleb Martin on the dish, and we add 2, and it's now 26-23. And we start a new possession. So that's the end of the possession. And every time you get a new possession, you click on the 3 dice. Now it's a 3-pointer from the right corner, and that's going to go to the shooting guard. So a 6 to 9 on the D10 is going to go to the shooting guard. The shooting guard is Grayson Allen, and so he's going to hit, he's going to put the 3-pointer up. We need a new roll, so we click here on the refresh. We get a new roll. The roll is a 4, so we add these 2 numbers. 1 plus 3 is 4. His 3-point range is 2 to 6, and so that's within his range, and he hits it from the right corner, and that's his first 3 of the game. He's got 7 points in the first half, and the assist is going to go to the small forward. So because he's the shooting guard, we're going to give the assist there. If it was matching, and if this was a 4, and let's say it was a shooting guard, I would just give no assist. So it's like he created his own shot. So that was a 3-pointer, so we need to add 1 here. Remember, we were at 26, so now it's 29, so we just need to add 1. And now we're all squared away with our scoring. And then coming back down the floor, we got 47 possessions left in the second quarter. Here's a 2-point make. And so this is an automatic bucket. That's going to go to the small forward, an 8 or a 9. So Caleb Martin with back-to-back buckets. We need a fresh roll to get the assist here. The assist goes to the point guard. And it's going to be 5 assists in the first half for Kyle Lowry. And that will be a 2-point bucket for Miami. And on the next possession, it is Milwaukee. We've got a 2-point jumper from the elbow. This is going to be the power forward, Giannis. He is 1 for 4, so he needs to get on track a little bit. A 2 to 7 or 12 is going to be a make for him. And it's a 9, and that's another miss. He's now 1 for 5 to start the game, and hopefully he can turn it around. We have a 7 for the rebound, and that's going to be to the shooting guard. So, and that's the shooting guard of the defensive team. Remember, this was defense first, and then if you hit on the 9 or 10, you look for the offense. So if it's a 1 to 8, that's going to be to the defensive team. So 7 goes to the shooting guard, and that's going to be a first rebound of the game for Tyler Harrow. And nothing to change with the score because he missed, and so we get a new possession again. Your card is going, these are your timing cards, and they're going down all the time. Here's a three-pointer from the right corner. This is going to be a shooting guard again. Actually, I guess for the first time, it was a small forward last time. And he is a 2 to 5 and a 9 for a three-point make. It's a 4, so that's going to be good from the corner for Tyler Harrow. And the assist goes to the point guard. So a couple assists there for him. Right out of the gate, we're going to add 3, and that brings Miami within 1. Next possession for Milwaukee is a hook shot in the paint, so this is mostly going to go to your big guys. We have an 8 though, so it's going to be a small forward, and it's Connaughton. I guess that's how you say his name, so I'm going to go with it. He is a 2 to 7 to make, and he misses right off the front rim, and that's another missed shot. He's 1 for 3 in the game from 2, and a 4 is going to be to the other center, a rebound to the center, so not 44, but Adebayo with the ball, and we flip another card. 2-point jumper from the baseline. This is going to go to the power forward. This is Jimmy Butler. Butler is 1 for 1 so far. 2 to 6 and 8 is his shooting range. It's a 7, so he just misses. And that is going to be a rebound to the power forward of the other team. So that's the first rebound for Giannis. And we go back the other way. Milwaukee with the ball. Now the possession ends in a steal, so the defense steals the pass. We use our D10 to figure out who, and that's going to be a steal to the other team's shooting guard. So Tyler Harrow with his first steal of the game, and just like that, possession ends, and we flip a card. A 2-point make. This is going to go, this is a dunk on the fast break, so off the steal they start the break, and we get a dunk. This is going to go to the power forward, and that's an automatic 2 points to Jimmy Butler as he flushes and finishes at the rim. And we can figure out the assist here. That no assist, right? So the power forward, Jimmy Butler, is playing power forward, and there's no assist on the play. So Butler takes the ball, and he didn't just catch and dunk. He did some stuff with the ball. So we add 2 to Miami, and now they have a 1-point lead over Milwaukee, in Milwaukee. And off the make, we get another fast break. This time we get our high, right? So 9 or 10 is going to be, this is going to go to the high 2-point attempt rated players. So we have 2 guys. We have Drew Holiday and we have Giannis. So we're going to give this one to Giannis just to kind of get him on the board. So he's going to make the bucket. And let's see about the assist. A 6 is going to be to the point guard. That's 6 assists for Drew Holiday. And couple more points as we seesaw back and forth with the score here. Next possession for Miami. It's a defensive foul. This is going to be a shooting foul. So in the act of shooting, this is going to go to the low foul total, which if we look here, so this is the offense and this is the defense, and it's going to go to Brook Lopez, who has 0 fouls, so we give it to him. And that means that the opposite player is going to take the free throws, which is Bam Adebayo. So figuring out who to assign the foul to tells you who is going to go to the line. So kind of an easy way to do that. So Brook Lopez is going to go to the line. It's a shooting foul, so it's going to be 2 shots. And we need to make sure we get a fresh roll here. A 2 to 9 is going to be a free throw make for Brook Lopez. So the first one is good. Second one is good. And that's another 2 points for Miami, and we come back the other way. If he had missed the free throws, we would look to the rebound. We would make sure we use the D10 and we look to the rebound. So that's how you do that with the missed shots. Next possession for Milwaukee is a fadeaway mid-range jumper. That's going to go to the small forward, Connaughton, and he is a 2 to 7 for a make. That's going to be in, and he is now 2 for 4. He's got 4 points, 13 points in the first half, so he's been playing really well. The assist is going to go to the power forward. That's going to be an assist for Giannis. His second assist of the game. And that's a 2-point bucket for Milwaukee. Coming back down the other way, the power forward gets hacked, so Butler's going to go to the line, and that foul gets assigned here to the opposite power forward, Giannis. I don't know that Giannis would necessarily be guarding him, but that's just kind of how we have things slotted in. So 2 free throws to Jimmy Butler. This will be his first free throws. 2 to 9 and 12 is going to be his percentage. Not as good a free throw shooter as Hero, but one of the better shooters on the team, free throw shooters. So he can only miss on a 10 or an 11. So first one is up and in. Second one is a miss. Okay, so we got one good, one miss. We're going to give him 1 point. And we need to look here at the 3. The 3 is going to be a rebound to the center on the other team. So that's how we sort of play out missed shots on free throws. So Brooke Lopez with the board, and we are tied at 33, which begins a fast break. And it's going to be the point guard, Drew Holiday, taking it to the rim and putting it up for the layup. There is no assist on the play, so he goes coast to coast on that. He's got 4 points. Actually, he's got 8 points in the game. And we put 2 back here. Next possession for Miami is an and one. So the shot goes in and the shooter's fouled. The shooter is going to be the point guard. So this shot goes in. That's going to be an auto 2. The foul is going to be assigned to the opposite team's same position. So that'll be a foul on Drew Holiday, his second. And then we need to check out the free throw here. So first one is a 4. That's going to be a make. A 2 to 9 or 12 is a make. We only have one, right? Okay. So he completes the traditional 3-point play. We can give him a full 3 points. And Miami takes the lead on that 3-point play. You could also figure out the assist if you wanted to on those plays, but I think for us it was no assist on the play. So next possession is going to end in a defensive foul. So that foul is on the power forward. The power forward is Jimmy Butler. That's his first, as he fouls Giannis. Giannis is going to go to the line for 2. He is a 2 to 7 or a 10. So that's going to be a make, and that's going to be a make. So he just gets them both in, and lead goes back and forth here in Milwaukee, 37-36, Milwaukee over Miami. We're at 33 possessions left in the first half. So what does that mean in real time if you go back to your cards? That's about 7 minutes and 45 seconds left. You'll notice here in the cards that once you get under a minute, it starts doing 10 seconds at a time, because that's just kind of how the, one, it creates a little drama at the end of the game. 2, you just have to divide everything up because it's not evenly, 4s. So I can't do quarters the whole way through. So we got a dunk on the fast break, and this is going to go to the power forward. So that goes in as an auto 2 for Jimmy Butler, who is finishing in this game on the fast break, and no assist on the play. And Miami takes the lead again. Now we have a turnover, so the ball handler makes a bad pass. The ball handler is going to be the shooting guard. So that's turnover number 2 for Grayson Allen, and the ball goes right back to Miami. Miami looking to feed off of their lead, but this is actually going to be an offensive foul, and that's going to go to the low foul player. So here we have a situation where we have 4 guys with the same low number, and then I just start at the top and then just start assigning fouls that way. So it's going to be an offensive foul on Tyler Hero, and we are going to give the ball back to Milwaukee. Another foul. This time it's going to go to the low player again, and this time it'll be the low player on Miami, which I just go to the next one down and just assign the foul there. You can assign them to whoever you want, honestly. I just need a method for doing that, and this is kind of a quick and easy way to do it. That means that the small forward is going to go to the line, and that's Connaughton. He has not taken any free throws yet, but he's going to get 2 shots here. He's a 2 to 7 or a 10. 7 is a make, and 3 is a make, so he's 2 for 2 from the line, and Milwaukee takes the lead again. Miami with the ball. Got a 3-pointer from the right corner. This is going to be taken from the shooting guard. The shooting guard is Hero. Hero trying to make up for the offensive foul. And he puts it up in the air. He's 2 to 5 or 9 for a make, and he's going to miss that. It's 1 for 2 now from 3. And a 6 is going to be a rebound to the small forward. So that's going to be to Connaughton, who's got 3 boards in the game. And he's having a very nice half, actually. We got a defensive foul again. Again, this goes to the low player, so this is going to be to Jimmy Butler. And going to the line is Giannis. Giannis is a 2 to 7 or 10 for a make. So that's a miss on the first and a make on the second. So because he made the second, no need to check for the rebound. We're just going to add 1 here. And here we go. Miami with the ball. On the fast break, taking it out of the basket and pushing it up the floor, he is the shooting guard, Tyler Hero. So he's going to get the auto basket. And the assist goes to the point guard. So nicely run fast break there. And that ties us back up at 40. Good close game here in the first half, 40 up. Miami at Milwaukee. We got a 3-pointer from the right corner. That's coming from the small forward. So he's already 3 for 3, Pat Connaughton. And let's see if we can make it 4 for 4. 2 for 5, or 2 to 5, and 11 is a make, and it's a 4. And he is on absolute fire as he's 4 for 4 from 3 in the first half. And that is going to be no assist as he creates his own shot in the corner, pulls up and drains it. And Miami with the ball. Going to the basket, it's going to be the center who gets hacked. It's Adebayo. He's going to go to the rim or go to the line for 2. That foul is on Brook Lopez, his second. Adebayo is a 2 to 9 as a free throw shooter. So the first is good, and the second is good. He's 4 for 4 in this game from the line, and that draws Miami within 2. Milwaukee with the ball coming back down the floor. They get another 3 ball. This one's going to be put up by Connaughton again because why not? He's a 2 to 5 or an 11, and this time he misses. So first miss of the game from 3 for him, and that rebound is going to go to Adebayo, who's got 5 here in the first quarter or in the first half. 43-42, Miami with the ball as they push the ball up the floor. So Adebayo is going to score the auto bucket. Let's see if there's an assist on the play. There was. The assist goes to the point guard, so he gets it out to Lowry. Lowry gives it up to Adebayo at the rim, and with the the layup at the rim, and that's going to give Miami the lead. 22 possessions left. There's about 5 minutes left in the second quarter. We have a 2-point jump shot from the baseline, and that's going to be a jumper to the point guard. So this will be Drew Holiday with his 3rd attempt. He is a 2 to 6 or an 8. That's a 9, so that's going to be a miss, his first miss of the day. We have a 9 here, and a 9 on a rebound means that it's an offensive rebound. So about 20% of the time you have an opportunity for an offensive rebound. The actual percentage in the NBA is about 25%. So it's sort of in between, but I wanted to make sure everybody got an opportunity for the rebound. And so it's going to be an offensive rebound, and we have a 4, so it goes to the center. So that's going to be a rebound to Lopez, and they reset the offense, so we're going to count that as a possession. So we flip again. So anytime there's a rebound, I'm counting it as a possession. You don't have to. It's actually going to get you more shot attempts probably if you don't. And so if you like a little more scoring or a few more shot attempts, you can treat offensive rebounds as part of the same possession. I don't typically do that. Excuse me. So we have a 2-point play. The shot is the shooting guard. That's Grayson Allen. He's a 2 to 6 or a 9. And a 7 is up and no good. So he misses as well on the offensive glass. They get a second chance, and instead we're going back the other way as Adebayo with his 6th rebound in the first half. Miami's still ahead. They draw the shooting foul. This can be the shooting guard. So we get a foul here. Second foul on Grayson Allen. That's going to send Tyler Hero to the line. Hero is a 2 to 10 or a 12. The only time he can miss is on an 11. So that's up and that's up and in. So 2 shots for Hero, pushes the lead out to 3 points for Miami. Less than 20 possessions left in the first half. We get a 2-point shot. This is a jumper from the baseline, and that's going to go to the high point shooter. So high point shooter for a 2-pointer is going to be Holiday or Giannis. And let's go ahead and go with Holiday. So Holiday from the baseline, he's a 2 to 6 or an 8. And he misses. Man, Milwaukee has not been on fire at all. They are going to get the offensive rebound, though, and that's going to go to the shooting guard. So Grayson Allen gets the rebound, resets the offense, and we get a 3-pointer from the left wing. This will go to the point guard. So Holiday with another opportunity. From 3, he's a 2 to 5 or 9, and he is going to miss that one too. And just a rough shooting night for Drew Holiday in the first half. The rebound comes off to the shooting guard, Tyler Hero, his second board. And back the other way comes Miami with a 3-point lead, but they throw it away. That's going to be the power forward, Jimmy Butler, with the turnover, his first turnover of the game. And we're coming right back Milwaukee's way, but then they throw it away. This sometimes happens. So we get Giannis this time, makes a bad pass. And no harm, no foul for Miami. A 3rd turnover. Okay, that's getting ridiculous. So that's going to be Butler again, who just can't seem to get on track. But coming back the other way, it's going to be Giannis with an M1. So he puts it in for 2, and he gets an opportunity. That'll be another foul on Butler. That's 3 in the first half for Jimmy Butler. If I was substituting, I would substitute someone in. But I'm not substituting in this game. So if they foul out, they foul out. It's no big deal. It's kind of a test game. But I do have space here for subs if you wanted to include subs in the game. So we got a 1 shot here for Giannis. He's a 2 to 7 or 10 for make, and that's a 7, so that's up and in. And he completes the traditional 3-point play to tie us up at 46. 13 possessions left in the first half. We got a 3-point make from the top of the key. That's going to come from our highest rated 3-point shooter. So the highest rated 3-point shooter is going to be Tyler Hero. So Hero splashes that one, and the assist is going to go to the center. He's got a couple of assists in the game as he kicks it out to the top of the key. Hero drains it and gives Miami a 3-point lead with 12 possessions left. Milwaukee back down the floor. This is going to be a jumper from the baseline. That's for Connaughton. Connaughton having an excellent first half. 2 to 7 is a make, and it's an 8, and he's suddenly gone a little bit cold. 7 is a rebound to the shooting guard. So that's Tyler Hero with the rebound, and Miami comes back the other way. And another bad pass, another turnover, this time from Jimmy Butler. So that's 3 turnovers in the first half for Butler, who is having a hard time getting the ball to the guys that he wants to get it to. Got a 2-point shot coming back the other way for Milwaukee. This will be to the center, and it'll be Lopez with the 2-point jumper. A 2 to 7 or 11 is a hit, and he drains it. He's 3 for 3 from 2, and he's got a free throw as well. That assist is going to go to the small forward. 2 assists in the game for Connaughton to go with his 18 points in the first half. Just unconscious a little bit. All right, come back the other way. What was that? It was a 2-point shot. So draws Milwaukee with M1, less than 10 possessions left in the first half. And Jimmy Butler's going to take it to the rim. He gets fouled on the way, on the shot. Doesn't make the shot, but he is going to go to the line for 2. That's the third foul on Giannis. Again, not substituting here, but that'd probably be a good time to substitute. So for Jimmy Butler, a 2 to 9 or a 12 is going to be a make. So he makes the first and the second. And that's going to be 2 points for Miami. So 51-48, Miami over Milwaukee. Milwaukee with the ball coming back. There is a fadeaway jumper that's going to go to the point guard, Drew Holiday. Holiday is 2 for 4 from the field, 2 for 5, I guess, if you count the 3. And let's see, he is a 2 to 6 or an 8 for a miss. It's a 7. So 3 straight misses from the floor for him. And the rebound goes to Adebayo. Adebayo with 12 points and 7 boards in the first half. So nice first half for him. 7 possessions left. And this is going to be another turnover to Jimmy Butler. So tough go of it for Butler. 6 turnovers for Miami in the first half, and Milwaukee with the ball and an opportunity to tie it up. There's a 3-point make. They are going to do that. This is going to go to the high point, or the high-rated 3-point shooter, which is Connaughton, and he's now got 15 points just off 3. So he's got 5 threes in the first half, and he was able to create his own shot there. So no assists on the play, and Milwaukee ties it at 51. 5 possessions left in the first half, and a 2-point jumper from the free throw line. That's going to go to Jimmy Butler. And let's see if Jimmy basketball can drain it. He's a 2 to 6 or an 8. 8 it is, and Jimmy's got 8, 10, 11 points in the first half. 7, that'll be an assist to the point guard. He's got 9 assists in the first half. And we're going back the other way. Miami with a 2-point lead. Milwaukee trying to pull ahead. Got a 3-point make here. That comes from the shooting guard. And that's going to be his second 3-pointer of the game. So Grayson Allen, nothing but the bottom of the net. And that's going to be an assist from Drew Holiday. As Milwaukee takes the lead. 3 possessions left in the half. Got a 2-point jumper from the baseline. That goes to the shooting guard. That's Tyler Hero with an opportunity. He's got 12, 14, 15 points in the first half. And he is a 2 to 6 or a 10 for a make. And so he puts it in. And that is 8 points. 14, 16, 17 points for Tyler Hero in the first half. And 8 is another assist to the point guard. To maybe even these assists out a little bit. That might be a little bit too many here. So maybe 4, 5, 6 to 8, something like that. Maybe just to even those out a little bit between the 10 assists in the first half is a little bit much. So we have a 2-point make for Tyler Hero. And Milwaukee with the ball, 2 possessions left. There's a defensive foul. So this is a non-shooting foul, so Milwaukee's going to wind up finishing out the first half with the ball. And that foul is going to go on Jimmy Butler. That's his 4th, as he is in real danger here. Milwaukee with the last shot, and they are going to turn the ball over. So that's a turnover to Brook Lopez, his first in the first half. So our score at the half is going to be, and then, it's going to be the end of the quarter. So our score at the half is 55-54, and that would be 34 in the quarter, and that would be 20, 30, 28. So 34-point quarter for Miami, who started a little sluggishly, but turned it on there in that second quarter. So high point man for Miami is going to be Tyler Hero. He's got 14, 16, 17 points in the first half. 10, 12. High point man for Milwaukee is going to be Pat Connaughton. So 19, 21 points in the first half, 2 assists and 3 rebounds, even as a steal thrown in there. So pretty surprising game for him. And that gives you a real good look. I'm not going to finish out the game just for the sake of time, but you can see how it flows, how it plays. If you were playing on the tabletop and you were writing these things in instead of me having to sort of manipulate the computer, I think it would even go just a little bit faster. Or if you were using the app and then just writing in your totals and things like that on a score sheet, might even go just a little bit faster. But hopefully this gives you a really good introduction to Dice Basketball 2024, and I like it. It feels good. At times it can feel a little bit like it's a stat stuffer game. As long as you have these ratings and stuff like that, the cards in front of you, you could play where you're just kind of figuring out and not keeping all the stats and stuff like that. But if you want to keep all the stats, everything is there for you to be able to keep the stats. If there are any things that you see are missing, or things that you think should be added to the game, or maybe some extra charts or things that we can add in to add some spice to the game, just let me know in the comments section. You can also email me if you download the files. Again, you can get those at the Facebook groups I mentioned, Rod's Tabletop Hoops, or I guess it's called Tabletop Basketball, and then the sports replays and simulations group, and also the Clark and Addison Facebook group. So you can just search for those in the groups and join if you're not in them, and talk basketball, talk hoops games or sports games in general, or you can join the Clark and Addison group, and then we can I'm sharing all kinds of games, everything that we do. So we make basketball, baseball, football. We have other games in the works like golf. So creating lots of different types of games and new things that are coming to the fore. And you can join there, get the files for free, download and play it as much as you want. I've got every team, every player who got into a game is rated from 2022-23, totally free. Just take it, and I'll be updating and sort of providing updates, especially to the Tabletop Hoops group, because I think that's where the target is for this game. And hopefully this gives you a good sense of what the game is and how it plays. This was just a little score sheet I made. I don't know, it's not really anything, just a place to put everything. You could just as easily print something out like this and just mark it by hand. You may already have games with good score sheets that you could use as well. But let me know what you think. Is this game a winner? Is it worth pursuing? I think it's a full game, definitely a full play game, but it plays pretty quickly, actually. And I'll also make the changes to the application, and then I'll put the link in the description, and you can go to the app, and any web-enabled device will be able to open this up. Once you open it, I don't have any internet connectivity right now, so I'm playing the game without the internet. You only need the internet to load the page. You don't need it to actually play the game. So if you were to intermittently lose your connectivity, you could still continue to play. You just couldn't start a new game. All right. I think that's it from here. Again, expect fewer videos, but maybe I'll do longer videos just because there'll be fewer of them. But this game is called Dice Basketball 2024. This is a first and exclusive look. There are people playing it, demoing it, I think. They seem to be, excited about it. Guys at the and ladies at the Tabletop Hoops Basketball Facebook group. So they seem to be excited about it and ready to try it out. I hope you do too. And give it a play, give it several plays, just to kind of say, hey, this is where a rough spot is, or this could be better. I am definitely willing to listen. This game is very much in development right now as we speak. So just let me know what you think about it, and I'll continue to push forward with it. Okay, if you haven't subscribed, click subscribe. If you like this video and the content, click the thumbs up. Super easy way to support what we're doing here. You can also share it with your friends. That's a really good way to let YouTube know that, hey, this is high quality content that's being shared out to other people. Somebody thought enough of it to tell their friends about it. So it must be pretty good. So that's how those things work. And subscribing will allow you to see more videos that we do, not just this game, but all the games that we have. If you go to the YouTube channel and really look on the channel, you can see all the different games and things that we've done. We are up to 55 or so subscribers, so gaining a little bit of traction as we continue to put more videos out and do some different things for other people as well. Okay, I think that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.